All right, everybody, good evening. All Access customers added more cash to their bankroll last night on the back of a perfect 3-0 night in college basketball. And hopefully you were able to cash in on our NBA free plays that we gave out yesterday, giving us 9 winning shows in the last 12 days. Welcome to Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. It's for Tuesday, March 5th. And we're the only show to analyze early betting patterns by the public, and we've done that once again with 3 more free NBA plays for Tuesday as we go towards our 10th winning day in the last 13 days in our free picks. Before I get to those plays, I have Monday's college basketball 3-pack already locked and loaded. I thought we'd hit it while the iron is hot. It's been an amazing run, really, in college basketball, so excited about that. And our 3-pack tomorrow includes that San Diego State UNLV Insiders play, which is a massive rivalry. I mean, it's more so for UNLV, who hasn't beaten San Diego State since 2020, but it really is a massive game, and it's a big game in the Mountain West. It will be a message sender as we go through the Mountain West Conference tournament, which is always so up in the air as to who is going to win it. So get involved with that. The 3-pack's up there as always for $49.99. This also always comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee that states you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. And in addition, if you don't want to mess with the 3-pack or the individual games, guys, thank you so much to everybody who has gotten involved with our all access passes that have given you every single one of our plays. And you've seen how important those all access passes are. You get involved with one of those, you get every one of my plays, including college basketball, NBA, NHL, MLB coming up. Every single one of my plays for one low price. And you could jump on a 30-day pass for less than $11 a day. You could jump on a 90-day pass for less than $10 a day. And an all-access annual pass for the next year that will carry you all the way through football season. You know what we did in football. $3.56 a day. You get every play for the next year. That's by far the best offer. So we'll grab your credit card, throw the package on the credit card. We'll pay it off every single month. Sit back and let's build your bankroll properly. If you're not an all access customer yet, we can't let another day go by. And this is why. These are our numbers so far in the various sports and overall. All access customers, 56.3% winners over the last 7 days, 55.2% winners over the last 30 days, plus 1,479 units won, 4,623 units over the last 90 days. That's 3 months. You do the math, multiply that by 4, and tell me what your bankrolls are going to look like at the end of the year. I am the #1 overall handicapper on Pickdawgz in 2024 with 3,637 units won, 56% winners. In the NBA, 55% winners over the last 7 days, 55% winners over the last 90 days, plus 1,088 units. 1,401 units won in 2023-2024 season. In college basketball, 58.3% winners over the last 7 days, 58.2% winners over the last 30 days, plus 1,173 units, 55% winners over the last 90 days. That's good for 1,266 units of profit, 1,641 units won in 2023-2024 college basketball season. And let's not forget the NHL, 55% winners over the last 7 days. That's #1 amongst cappers with at least 20 plays. When you're choosing a capper, guys, it never matters the hype and never matters the promises that they make, even though we told you 2024 was going to be our best year ever. But that's only because I know what kind of work I put into it and are putting into it. But it only really matters what your record says you are. And hopefully our record is good enough for you to put your money behind me for the rest of 2024. So let's get serious about your March bankroll. Get that all access pass right now. That's really all that needs to be said. Let's get to your free games for Tuesday. Started off 7:30 Eastern Time. Game 5:15, 5:16. Boston Celtics minus 7.5. 219 is your total against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Very early on, we saw some 222s. That was by some smaller offshore books, but that disappeared. This number really has settled into 218.5. There is some juice on the over in some spots, but don't be afraid to lay that. The games are always cash and overs, but the Celtics have put up some pretty big offensive numbers in 4 of the last 6 games with at least 129 points in 4 of those last 6 games. Boston is averaging just under 130 points per game in their last 6. All of them in wins, adding to their current win streak of 11 straight, and 43-10 over the last 53. I think one time, if memory serves me correctly, I think one time this year, and it had to be early in the season, where the Celtics lost back-to-back games. That was the only time this whole entire season. They're going to be a massive player in the postseason. I might be wrong on that, but I do think if I had to bet, which I am a betting man, I would bet that they have not lost back-to-back since the beginning of the year. In their last meeting, Boston, it was a 9 against Boston and Cleveland. It was a 9-point Celtics win. Cleveland shot 48% from the floor, and Boston shot 51% from the floor. I just think 218.5 is too low. We're going to go over that total. Game number 2, 7:30 Eastern Time, 5:17, 5:18. New Orleans Pelicans minus 8.5, 228.5 versus the Toronto Raptors. It appears this number might fall even further from the 229 that it opened at. 75% of the early tickets are coming in, and we do have 3,500 tickets monitored, which is a massive amount for a 7:30 game this early on. But people are jumping all over this game, and really they're jumping on the total. You may want to see if the total shows more stability, but my guess it's going to fall further. So you might want to get on this game now. If it falls, I think we're only looking at about a half, so that doesn't really matter to me, even though I always try to get the better of the number. We know the Pelicans have been an under team for most of the season with 34 unders in 61 games, including 5 straight where they've held opponents to 107 points per game in their last 6 and 143 points per game in their last 9. Let's let me go through that one more time because I think I didn't have clarity on that. They had 5 straight unders, and they've held opponents to 107 points per game in their last 6 and 104.3 points per game in their last 9. So that's more clear than I said it the first time, or clearer. One of those. I'm a handicapper, not an English major. The good news, while facing the Raptors, who have cashed 2 straight unders after who just put up 108 points per game against the Hornets and the Warriors as an average. They're going to basically, we're looking at a New Orleans team that's playing pretty well defensively. Now they're going up against a Raptors team that is having trouble scoring, and at least they have against the Hornets and the Warriors. But those are 2 teams that you should put up points against. One, because they're not very good. Second, because of pace of play. The first meeting this season produced an over, but in that game, the Raptors managed just 100 points in a 38-point loss to. In that 38-point loss early on. So even though that game went over, it wasn't because Toronto helped out at all. They just put up that 100 points. So we're going to go under the 228.5. And then game number 3, 7:30 Eastern Time, 5:19, 5:20. Atlanta Hawks versus the New York Knicks. Knicks minus 2.5, 216.5 is your total. We've had some movement on the under as after it opened up at 217.5. This is not a surprise at all. The Knicks own the slowest pace of play this season overall, and especially in New York. And that's been the case all year. But when bad teams are involved, we get a massive amount of possessions, which we usually get with the Hawks because either they're trying to play catch up, and they do play a faster pace anyway. But when you're trying to play catch up, then it is a frantic pace, which is why you have bad teams that have a lot of possessions per game. I think the Wizards are number 1 overall in possessions per game, if you want to have another example for that. Both teams have cashed under tickets this season with totals of 230 and 246. And check that again, both meetings have cashed under tickets this season with 230 points and 246 points scored in those 2 games. If I'm the Hawks, I'm going to try to speed this game up. I'm going to try to get to the rim on as many possessions as possible. I'm going to take advantage of my strong free throw shooting, which is what I think is going to push this game over the total. And as far as the Knicks, they're going to be playing one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. So I'm always looking to play the over when Atlanta is involved. It's just a matter of, will the Knicks dictate pace the whole game? And I don't think that they will. I think Atlanta will come out with a strong first half and then do what they do in the second half with many possessions as they try to play catch up. So we're going to go over 216.5 for our third and final play. So that does it for your free plays for Tuesday. Go to pickdawgz.com right now. Get involved with my college basketball 3-pack for just $49.99, which comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee. And also, my all-access passes are locked and loaded. Get one of those right now. Never have to worry about missing another play once ever again. You get all my NBA plays, college basketball plays, NHL plays for one low price. And guys, if you've been following me in 2024, you know we've been absolutely smashing bookmakers. Every single one of my plays is up on Pick Dawgz. We're 1,000% transparent. We want to make sure that everything we do is up there for the world to see. So when you're making a decision about who you put your money behind, you know you're doing it because you see the numbers, you believe in the numbers, and for better or worse, those numbers are up there almost immediately after the results. So make sure you get involved with an all-access pass. Tomorrow, let's continue to add to our 2024 bankroll and what I have dubbed as the best year ever. Let's recap our free plays one more time. Boston, Cleveland over 218.5. New Orleans, Toronto under 228.5. And Atlanta, New York over 216.5. That does it for today's show. Thank you to everybody who continues to help make this show grow. I always appreciate all the feedback on YouTube. I try to answer as many as I can. Some days I have more time than others, but thank you so much. I do see them all and will try to answer as many as possible. And I appreciate all the questions too. I love the questions about bankroll questions and how much you should play if you have this amount of bankroll. And I will say this before I go. I know this is not everybody's philosophy, but it is my philosophy. This is a everyday 365 day a year business venture, if you will. And if you have a smaller bankroll, if you're playing with $1,000 bankroll or $5,000 bankroll, you want to make sure that you nurture that bankroll. You want to grow that bankroll. And I know we're always battling that thing inside of us that says, man, if I could just get here and I could really make something of my bankroll. And it is slow and steady wins the race. If you have $10,000, you're not playing $1,000 a game. That's just unrealistic. It's really, and it's not that you can't grow it from that. It's just you want to protect it. You don't want to lose it. You want to nurture it. You want to make sure that it grows and blossoms into something. And you don't want to lose it because you went on a 5 or 6 game losing streak right off the bat. So you want to make sure that you take your time. And as I said in the YouTube comments, this is a marathon. This is a all day, every day, all year marathon. At the end of the year, at the end of the month, if you want to do it that way, which is what I do, that's the way you measure your success. So we've had days that weren't so great, for sure. But we put those behind us, and we put them behind us. We stay consistent with what we know, and we use the same formula to produce winners that we've had all year long. So we just consistency and discipline, all these things that you have heard in the past. That's how you find success. I don't care if you have to build your bankroll $20 at a time. That's the way you do it, because when you're playing, this is a great way to know if you're playing too much of your bankroll. When you make a wager, are you sweating your wager one way or the other? If you are, then you're playing too much. And I always recommend that you play the same amount, because if I don't say that, and of course there are some games that are weighted more than others, but if I don't say that, what's going to happen is somebody with a $1,000 bankroll is going to play $100 on one game, then they're going to play $300 on another game. That's not the way we're going to build bankroll, because 3 or 4 losses and you're out the door. So stay disciplined, make sure you stay consistent, and have fun with this. And you can build a bankroll. I'm not sure, guys, you can do anything you want to with it. If you have a big enough bankroll, yeah, you can certainly make an impact in your life. It is all about being, I use those words again, consistency and discipline. So can't always say that in a YouTube page, but I do want to I do want to pass that along because I want people to find success. I don't want people to be, jumping into the deep end when they don't know how to swim yet. So it's always better to be, be safe, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. So build your bankroll, be safe. Let's have fun with this. And at the end of the year, when you have built, say you've taken a $10,000 bankroll and say you've made it $20,000. Well, that's pretty good, guys. I mean, that's better than 98% of the people that walk into the sports book. And then you can take that $20,000 bankroll and say, okay, what percentage of this can I play now? And there's all kinds of techniques of managing bankroll. Now, I'll go through that a little bit later in other videos. Some guys split their bankroll in 4. So if they lose a portion of their bankroll, they don't lose their whole bankroll. So that's just one technique. But anyway, that does it for this show today. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. Let's crush them again on Tuesday. And thank you to everybody who has gotten involved, put their money behind me. We are having a fantastic year, and we're going to add to that again tonight.